Hello everybody, welcome back. We've sort of made some progress over here, haven't we? The wick that's just been formed is just short of 115,000, which is more or less the daily criteria. We've got to get and stay above that level. This is your 20 moving average. That's where we've got to stay above. Now we do have a negative cross below the cloud here, which is a bit of a yeah. This is a part of a short signal which. It was generated down at these lower areas, but cheeky span's back above price action, so it's more or less cancelled it out. But if we come swooping down below these areas, 100 and well, just below 110, towards 109.8 really, you get yourself a trend signal to the downside again. But this is still a bullish chart on high term time frames. When you zoom out, you can see the golden cross, the continuation, and even the divergence of those moving averages. Also reflecting on the weekly where you hit the 21 exponential and closed above the 20 and the horizontal. So again, the high term time frames again still, not that this makes for good YouTube content, but the high term time frame continues to remain in a bullish way. So, the overall bias high, again on the weekly and beyond is still like a bullish one. So we're still looking for continuation based on what we see there. So we're now Tuesday. Yesterday I was expecting to see a rejection earlier. When we finished the live stream on Sunday night, we were expecting a little move into these areas, possibly this area, but now we've gone above them all, which is amazing. So now it means that each one of these is a support on the way down, all the way down to 111,200. You don't want to see that get broken, really. This is now a nice uptrend on the 4-hourly Bollinger Band Center. And that will keep going up so long as we're above it. So, supports get higher and higher and higher with every 4-hourly close. And again, at the moment, we've got supports at 111, 200. You've also got supports at 112 on the 21 exponential, which is also that horizontal, which is all very nice, which is also the 20 moving average on the weekly. So much going on around this little area. Now, we're talking 112 really is the line in the sand. A tiny bit lower, possibly a bit higher, but generally that's it really for us now. We want to be above that. And the fact that we've made a new local high over here, so makes it feel less like a bull trap and more like a breakout. So that's basically it for Bitcoin. Now on the on the Telegram, I was saying how we've got a breakout now for CleanSpark, which we do have a breakout for CleanSpark. CleanSpark's obviously a mining company. Mining companies and crypto stocks have been doing quite well despite Bitcoin going down. We've seen a really decent move here, which I'm quite pleased at because I have a big stack of this, my pension. And I got a futures trade on it as of the other day as well. So looking reasonable, 66% from this low, which is all part of the Golden Cross retest, which is messy, but it existed. With similar hidden bullish divergence read on the RSI, we've got these regular bullish divergence reads, like all the altcoins that we saw over the summer, marking off this potential low, which obviously, kept in hindsight, winds it, goes back in time and goes, yeah, we got it. And obviously, super kept in hindsight, this is where I bought it, down these low zones. So I'm happy with it, but I'm not here to brag. I'm here to reference a few things. I looked on this chart specifically to see if there's any correlation with the Bitcoin price, and there isn't. There actually isn't. I mean, obviously you'd expect highs and lows to form with Bitcoin peaks, but actually, this has done a very big move, and it's consolidated since the big move, which is back in 2024, and it's been basically tailing off ever since. What we're waiting for now is to see if this breakout is real, because if this breakout is actually real, this goes back to the previous cycle's bull market peak and even prior to that, 2019. So what you could be looking at here, and again, the operative word being could, but it looks quite good so far, could be a major breakout of a multi-cycle trend line that could materialize into a much bigger move. But the reason I'm bringing it up isn't to say, oh, buy CleanSpark. I'm not saying that. The time to buy CleanSpark probably to be, for safety purposes, was way back when. But I'm just pointing it out that crypto stocks, pointing up, and this one breaking out, doing its own special thing. We've got, Coinbase, which is very correlated to the way that Bitcoin looks, even getting support on the 21 exponential moving average on the weekly, dancing around there for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, similar to Bitcoin. So, and also, this is the one that I wish I had had, at least recently anyway, Hut 8 mining. So I'm just pointing out that crypto stocks are looking quite good. And there's only one reason why crypto stocks should look good. Based on their own charts, this one's breaking out. But, I mean, you wouldn't buy crypto stocks if you were expecting a bear market, would you? Huh? And you wouldn't be getting bullish setups like this that will likely continue to play out, in my opinion. We've got a trend signal here as well, with a declining Bitcoin value. I just don't see it. So, not that the charts correlate together particularly well, because I did an overlay of it last night, and I'm thinking this could make a good video for the morning. But when I realised that there was really nothing to talk about, I was like, okay, well, that'll be a crap video. But I'll mention them anyway because they are moving, and they are crypto stocks. And, as far as sort of standard stock market traditional trading is concerned, something is going on here, and you wouldn't buy this stuff. The confidence, you wouldn't have confidence into buying a stock like this if you thought that crypto was going into a bear market. So it all looks good. I think it all looks good, to be honest with you. And hopefully this one does return to some form of its former glory. The beauty of a breakout like this is that you do have certain measured moves. Next target is around about $20. Possibly 25. Then obviously you got your next target around $40. Then your next target around $50. Now I'm not suggesting we go any higher than that, but I mean that would be pretty sweet. Considering I bought it around the $3, outperformed Bitcoin really in a lot of ways. Right, I will leave it there. There's nothing else to say. We can look at altcoins another day. I think we're just going to be led by Bitcoin, allow Bitcoin to do its thing. And if I had to say what I think is going to happen today, I think a pullback into any one of these with no lower close than 111,000. Well, it's 300 at the moment. This 4 hour is going to keep closing with every 4 hours. In 2 hours from now, it'll be higher and then higher, and then ideally, what you want to see is by the end of the day, a close no lower than the $112,000, with all moving averages above that horizontal, and then really over the next day or so, I don't know if it'll do it today. It could, but over the next day or so, we continue to close above the 114,500, which would be above all the moving averages on the daily, and that'll give us a bit more insight, I think, to the fact that this is about to start creeping back up, and new all-time highs for it, really. Anyway, and also, what do we call it? It's Pumptober coming, isn't it? Pumptober. Doesn't everything pump in Pumptober? That's what we thought. Well, not we. I always look at the charts, to be honest with you, rather than the month and what rhymes with it and stuff. But Pumptober. That's what people will say. It's Pumptober. But remember, last October there was no Pumptober. It was Dumptober, wasn't it? It was Pump November, or whatever you want to rhyme that with. It doesn't roll off the tongue as much, but it certainly looked good in your bank account. Right, that is it. Nothing else to say. I'll leave it with you there. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.